is News 3 Now at 10.
John Paulus, a renowned tennis player and former head basketball coach for the Wisconsin Badgers, has died at the age of 88. And while his list of accolades is long as both an athlete and Madison community leader, he's being remembered for so much more.
New tonight at 10, Madeline O'Neill joins us to share his legacy. Madeline?
Well, you may know him as the Badgers basketball coach, the John Paulus of the John Paulus Tennis Center here on the west side, or a top-ranking senior tennis player in the world. But those that know and love him say his legacy isn't so much about him, but how he treated others.
He was just kind of a larger-than-life character.
Larger than life, because he was so full of life.
What is your secret to being so competitive for so long?
Insanity. How's that to start with?
John Paulus brought his charisma to a News 3 Now interview in 2015.
#1 player in the world in your age bracket.
Thank you.
And again in recent years when his community supported him following historic flooding at the John Paulus Tennis Center.
That's who John Paulus is. He's had a lifetime of treating people with such respect and dignity and kindness.
Throughout that lifetime, he gained plenty of awards and titles.
He was named the senior player of the 20th century.
And amassed enough memories to fill a book.
Playing Santa Claus to Princess Di's Mrs. Claus. Playing tennis with then Vice President George Bush.
Dan Smith wrote one after being Paulus's producer when he was a color commentator for Badger basketball telecasts.
But you know, he could have also been named the gentleman of the 20th century and the 21st century.
But what Paulus carried most proudly.
What was most important to him was hitting balls with his son and his friends.
What is it about tennis that so touches you?
I say from the sororal, fraternal part of this thing, the friendship.
Paulus's friendship with Capital Times editor and publisher Paul Fanlin started on the court and lasted 4 decades.
He lived life joyfully and with an optimism and a resilience that even showed through these last months as he struggled with an illness.
Here's the guy dying of cancer, and he wants to know how you're doing. Is that the mark of a gentleman? Is that the mark of a great person?
Life's not a competition, though Paulus certainly enjoyed that.
He loved people, and he loved the competition.
But looking back on his full life, it's a fair call to say he won.
He's just an inspiration to those close to him for how to live a life. Wonderful children and grandchildren, and you know, that's how I'll think about it.
Paulus grew up in a small town in Illinois where he played basketball, tennis, and football. He is survived by 2 children and several grandchildren.
Just an outstanding guy, a person we'll never forget. Maddie, thank you. And the UW tonight releasing this statement about his passing. Quote, John Paulus lived a long and fascinating life, and UW Athletics was fortunate to have been a part of his journey. He'll be remembered for his friendly nature and his presence in our community. Our thoughts are with John's family and friends. He will be missed.
Let's get a look at our certified most accurate forecasts now. Here's meteorologist Dana Fulton.
It's another mild and a little muggy night for us. The rain chances seem to be really holding off to the west. We have some steady showers and a few isolated thunderstorms mixed in for parts of Iowa and Minnesota. Some of those showers passing through Richland, Crawford, and Grant counties, but right now things are pretty quiet for us over Dane County. And overall today, our precipitation totals have really only added up again to those far southwest counties. Even the light showers that we saw earlier today not adding up enough to really be a measurable amount for us in Madison. As we look at our radar, not really at the chance to see a few isolated showers overnight and another chance for tomorrow, but again, not expecting a lot of rain to build in over the next few days. We'll have chances again for Friday, and throughout the weekend, the warm weather stays. That sticks with the humidity as we look ahead to next week. We'll take a closer look at your full 10-day in just a few minutes.
Dana, thank you. New tonight, the Wisconsin State Patrol says 1 person has died after a multi-vehicle crash on the interstate today. This is right near Lean Road, near Easttown Mall. Happened about 5:30. Involved multiple vehicles, including a semi. Officials were unable to confirm the conditions of the victims other than the fatality. The interstate was cleared about 2.5 hours later.
Israel and Hamas have agreed to a ceasefire more than a week after a deadly violence erupted there. Set to take effect Thursday night, the agreement comes after the deaths of more than 200 Palestinians and about a dozen people in Israel. This evening, President Biden welcomed the agreement.
Prime Minister Netanyahu informed me that Israel has agreed to a mutual unconditional ceasefire. The Egyptians have now informed us that Hamas and the other groups in Gaza have also agreed.
The president this week had been increasingly urging an end to the deadly violence. In their first major battle since 2014, Hamas has fired more than 4,000 rockets, some landing deep inside Israel. Israeli forces pounded Gaza City with airstrikes for more than a week, toppling buildings Israel said Hamas used for military purposes. And in Gaza tonight, a celebration. Palestinians, many of whom had spent 11 days huddled in fear of Israeli shelling, poured into Gaza's streets. A Hamas official said the truce is a victory to the Palestinian people. But a statement from Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's office called Israel's achievements during the fighting significant and unprecedented.
State Republicans have voted against buying body cameras for Capitol police officers, rejecting a proposal from the governor. Today, the panel voted 12-4 on party lines to reject spending up to $100,000 over 2 years on between 35 and 50 body cameras. The U.S. House of Representatives has narrowly approved $1.9 billion to fortify the Capitol after the January 6th insurrection. Democrats pushed past opposition from Republicans and some Democrats to provide emergency funding to harden the complex with retractable fencing, a quick response force, and police training. The legislation passed by only one vote. Its fate in the evenly divided Senate is still undecided.
Governor Evers has ordered flags to be flown at half-staff next Tuesday in honor of a Korean War soldier whose remains were recently identified and returned home. Army Sergeant First Class Nicholas Valentine was reported missing in 1950 in North Korea. His remains were discovered in 2018 and were identified just a couple months ago in March. Sergeant First Class Valentine will be buried Tuesday in Cassville with full military honors. Next Tuesday also marks the one-year anniversary of the day a Minneapolis policeman killed George Floyd. To honor the anniversary, starting Sunday, the George Floyd Memorial Foundation will lead a rally and march in downtown Minneapolis. President Biden had hoped the federal George Floyd Policing Act would be passed by the one-year anniversary of his death, but even though it passed the House, the bill's path in the 50-50 Senate is still uncertain.
More than 40% of Wisconsinites have now been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Nearly 22,000 of those were in the past 24 hours. Fewer Americans are getting vaccinated now. According to CDC data published today, the average daily pace of vaccinations down nearly 50% from its April peak. Over the last week, roughly 1.8 million doses of the vaccine were given each day. Almost 127 million people are now fully vaccinated in the U.S. That's about 38% of the population. The Eiffel Tower will reopen July 16th after several months of closure. Today, Paris's Landmarks operator said visitor numbers will be limited to 10,000 a day. That's to meet social distancing requirements, fewer than half of their pre-COVID levels.
The new Glarus EMS is kicking off a new campaign with a goal of raising nearly $1.5 million. The department is run by a full-time chief, one part-time staff member, and 18 volunteers. They rely on fundraisers and donations to operate, and they're looking for support for equipment upgrades and expanding living quarters at the station. If you would like to help, just visit their GoFundMe page, search New Glarus EMS, or you can donate right at the EMS station. And for anyone who goes to downtown Madison, the city will soon begin enforcing street parking restrictions that were put on hold during the pandemic. So starting June 1st, time limits for non-metered street parking will be enforced, as well as residential parking permit restrictions.
Janesville getting into the summer spirit today, announcing the opening dates for the city's pools. Palmer Wading Pool will open on June 5th, followed by the Rockport Pool June 10th. Additional protocols will be in place at both facilities, including reduced capacity, physical distancing, and increased cleaning. Still ahead tonight, we continue with our State of Hate investigative series, uncovering hate crime statistics that haven't been readily available to the public. Our Naomi Coles runs those numbers next.
The biggest sale of the season starts now. It's the Memorial Day sale at Ashley Home Store. Shop in-stock doorbusters up to 60% off while they last. Plus, take a bonus 10% off our furniture sale prices. And no interest financing for 5 years. Ashley Home Store.
You know this guy? Honey?
With the most standard safety features in its class.
Nice stop, Mom.
Thanks. The fiercely reimagined Nissan Rogue. Get a low $219 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 14 models.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family. Do good things in the community. Help out your neighbors. You've been there for so many others. Now, we're here for you. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
Isn't it great how swinging through Culver's drive-thru marks the unofficial start to family time? How biting into a hot-off-the-grill Butterburger makes worries melt away? And how a fresh frozen custard concrete mixer puts a smile on your face every time? Here, a meal you didn't have to make is a meal made fresh for you. And being greeted with a smile, even beneath a mask, makes all the difference.
There's a reason we put so much care into our food. That reason is you. Welcome to Delicious.
Step 1, build a new breed. Make it an SUV. Send it off-road. Send it to Baja. Then evolve, enhance, expand. Make it capable, smart, human. And then make more. Because the only way to predict the future is to build it. And the only way to build it is Ford Proud. See your Ford dealer to build and pre-order a select SUV, like the new Bronco Sport, and get an additional $500 bonus certificate on top of all offers.
The Memorial Day appliance deals start now at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Save huge during the biggest sale of the season, including in-stock doorbusters up to 40% off, plus no interest financing for 18 months. At Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley Home Store off the Beltline.
Friday on News 3 Now this morning, Chris Reese will update that weekend forecast. And we are looking at what your kids' summer camps could look like this year. Join us from 4:30 to 7 Friday for News 3 Now this morning.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. Today, President Biden signed into law a bill that is aimed at countering a rise in anti-Asian hate crimes during the pandemic. The legislation, called the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act, will create a new position at the Justice Department to expedite a review of potential hate crimes and incidents reported at the federal, state, or local level. In our State of Hate investigative series, we've shown you what the crimes are, how they're rising, and the failures at a law enforcement level to investigate and report it.
But even when police do bring substantial evidence of hate, there are still cases where prosecutors don't bring the hate penalty. Investigative reporter Naomi Coles uncovers how many times hate crimes have been charged in the past 5 years.
Well, it's on prosecutors to make sure that cases are being charged appropriately.
Prosecutors say the bar for proving bias beyond a reasonable doubt is a high one. Whether racial slurs used in an attack will count as evidence of bias depends on a lot of factors, including the prosecutor.
We can't just look at something in one little moment and say, well, this is why it happened.
Fond du Lac County District Attorney Eric Toney, who's also running for Attorney General, is prosecuting the most serious current hate crime case, a deadly hit and run last year. What he didn't prosecute as a hate crime is when a white restaurant worker turned a meeting about job concerns into an attack on the other person's race, making a string of comments about how Mexicans lie, don't understand American rules, and worse, before he physically attacked co-workers. Victims told police they felt targeted because of their race.
It is not a crime in America, no matter how terrible it is for someone to utter racist slurs. Sometimes that just proves that somebody is racist, but that does not necessarily prove that the crime was specifically because of somebody's race.
At the same time, slurs and other actions are some of the only forms of evidence available to prove hate, a bar that means proving a person specifically targeted somebody else because of their race, color, etc.
Yeah, we can't look into a person's mind. It has to be based on their words or actions.
Like many states, hate is a sentencing penalty that prosecutors add to a crime in Wisconsin, which allows for a longer sentence. It's easy to find hate crime investigation numbers, however flawed, because the state mandates their collection. What we found isn't tracked is the prosecutions and convictions. So we reviewed 5 years of cases in Wisconsin that used the hate crime penalty. We found just shy of half of all 72 counties never used a hate crime penalty from 2016 to 2020.
It doesn't mean that there were no hate crimes. There are a lot of reasons that you might see cases not charged. So it may be that A prosecutor believes that a hate crime was committed, but they don't believe that they have the evidence to ask for that enhancement.
In total, prosecutors used it at least initially in 141 different cases. Now, 16 of those aren't available online. In most of the remaining cases, 32 had the penalty dropped or dismissed. 52 cases are still open, and prosecutors got a successful hate penalty conviction in 24 cases. Now, men, they represent the overwhelming majority of defendants. Now, the kicker. Dane County accounts for a third of all initial charges statewide. Now, by comparison, Milwaukee County used it only 4 times, and Waukesha, the third largest county in the state, has 0. Plus, while you can see there's an increase in the last couple years, it can all be attributed to Dane County and a 2019 policy change.
We felt that it was important for us to make a statement to the community.
Legally speaking, the shift was a simple one.
We were seeing an uptick in hate indicators, slurs, that sort of thing within the police reports.
District Attorney Ishmael Ozan's change meant Dane County would emphasize what's already in the law, bringing a hate crime penalty for crimes not just wholly motivated by hate, but also partially.
If we as prosecutors look at that wording in part or in whole and lean more towards the in whole, then obviously we wouldn't be applying the hate crime enhancer as often.
The policy change has made them by far the most aggressive county in the state for prosecuting hate.
When there is that evidence, I think it's critical that those cases are charged.
Potentially setting an example that experts say is part of the solution.
Hate crimes are message crimes. If you attack a black man, you want the entire black community to know you're not welcome, you're not like us, leave. The police and the prosecutor can send an absolute different message. If they stand up and they say, we are prosecuting this as a hate crime, the message that is sent is, you are welcome, you are our brothers and sisters, we will protect you, you make us better.
Part of the solution, but not all of it. As we close out this State of Hate investigative series, we're sitting down with advocates and community members to figure out the roots of the problem and the solutions. All that is going to be tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
Thanks, Naomi. Next tonight, the world's largest iceberg has calved from Antarctica over the past few days, creating a giant floating piece of ice close to 80 times the size of Manhattan. The iceberg broke off yesterday, measures about 105 miles in length, 15.5 miles across. Iceberg calving is part of the natural cycle, so scientists aren't attributing this particular break-off to climate change.
And here's meteorologist Dana Fulton with your first WARN forecast.
It is quite a mild night for us. We're sitting at 74 still in Madison, in the upper 70s or mid to upper 70s for parts of northern Illinois, and overall just a very warm stretch throughout the northern Midwest right now, thanks in part to that cloud deck overhead, our breeze from the southwest, and that mugginess you can thank to our dew points right now sitting in the 60s. So it feels quite sticky outside still. I know a lot of folks have messaged me and said they've already turned on the air conditioning. I'm part of that group right now. If you can still hold strong, maybe might make it a few more days, but we're in for a very warm weekend and a very humid weekend for Saturday and Sunday. Much of the thunderstorm activity has really stayed off to the west towards the Twin Cities and in parts in Iowa. The heavier rainfall also staying well off to the west, though we did see some steadier showers today in the northwest corner of the state. Rainfall totals in southern Wisconsin just not adding up to much, though we did see some light sprinkles in Madison early this morning, barely enough to measure anything, and even these totals off in parts of Grant, Richland, and Crawford counties just at about 1/10 of an inch or so, maybe 2/10 of an inch for some folks. We'll have the scattered shower chance for us overnight, a chance tomorrow to see a few more showers, possibly a few isolated thunderstorms for Friday, a slight chance on Saturday, mostly because it's going to be so warm and humid outside for Saturday, so any little chance for storms could start to pop up in the afternoon. The humidity does stay with us as we look ahead to next week until things start to cool down by the end of the week. A chance for showers and isolated storms for your Friday. This is early Friday morning. Temperatures mid to upper 60s, so a mild start to the day. We're mostly cloudy through Friday, and in the afternoon, we still have that chance for a few isolated showers and thunderstorms. High temperatures will climb to the upper 70s, pretty close to 80 degrees for us tomorrow. Saturday Saturday morning, we're in the 60s again early on. Afternoon high temperatures climbing to the mid to upper 80s, so it's going to be even warmer outside for Saturday. And those heat index readings will likely climb to the low 90s for some folks. So a bit of a sticky Saturday ahead for us. Rainfall totals with those chances for Friday and throughout the day on Saturday. Landing close to maybe a half of an inch for some folks. Not expecting a lot of accumulation with these rain chances, but every little bit. Certainly some good news right now is our updated drought status, adding a little bit more to that moderate and abnormally dry area. So adding on a few more chances for rain in our 10-day forecast will be good news to get the ground a little bit of a drink. Would be nice to see some slower, steadier showers, but every little bit we can get right now will certainly help. Tomorrow we'll have the chance for some showers and isolated thunderstorms. It will be warm and humid outside, quite warm for Saturday. Highs will be in the mid to upper 80s with that humidity continuing and the warm trend continuing into the start of the work week. By the second half of the work week, when we get behind a cold front, it gets a little cooler outside. It's not quite as humid outside, but we will still see temperatures slightly above average, with a chance for a few showers and thunderstorms for Wednesday, and then building back again, it looks like, for the following weekend.
Starting to feel a little bit more like summer out there. Dana, thank you. Just heading sports, the Bucks 2 days away from their playoff opener against the Miami Heat. While Giannis says he loves having all the pressure on him. That's next in sports with Zach.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You've got enough to think about maintaining. Good thing the 2021 Volkswagen Tiguan has a lower cost of maintenance than Toyota RAV4. Come into your Volkswagen dealer today and lease the sophisticated and capable 2021 Tiguan S 4Motion for just $249 a month.
Menards is your destination for your next flooring project. No matter the type of flooring you want, we are sure to have it. Bring realistic wood and tile looks to your home with water-resistant, super-fast flooring. It's fast and easy to install. From durable laminate flooring to waterproof vinyl plank, super-fast flooring is perfect for any room. Get 11% off super-fast flooring. Save with 11% off everything at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
Right now, get $500 off stressless signature-based recliners or recliners with classic power, and $200 off new motorized stressless Max and Mike recliners, the latest great innovation from Stressless. Plus, get $200 off each stressless Mary and Emily sofa seat. Celebrate 50 years of stressless comfort and save at the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
3 days only. Save an extra $700 on top appliance brands at Grand Appliances pre-Memorial Day sale. Get the guaranteed lowest prices on hundreds of in-stock appliances, including great deals like this Samsung front-load washer with steam for just $6.98, or this 25 cubic foot LG French door refrigerator for just $14.98. Visit your local Grand showroom or grandappliance.com to save today. Grand Appliance. You make it home, we make it grand.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
I recommend Gruber Law Offices to everybody. And I mean everybody.
I would strongly encourage all my friends and family to call them.
I definitely have recommended Gruber Law Offices to my friends.
I've recommended it to everybody I know.
My experience with Gruber was really great, and I would recommend it to anyone who needs to see an attorney.
One call, that's all.
At GHC, we want you to be safer at home. We have more ways for you to get care anywhere, anytime, day or night. Be seen, be safe, be home. We will get through this together, and we will all get better together.
You've got enough to think about maintaining. Good thing the 2021 Volkswagen Atlas and Atlas Cross Sport have a lower cost of maintenance than Toyota Highlander. Come into your Volkswagen dealer and get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2021 Atlas Cross Sport V6 SE Tech 4Motion, or lease one for just $409 per month.
ago, the Bucks lost in 6 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Last season, they were bounced out of the bubble in 5 in the Eastern Conference semifinals. This year, they're expecting to get over that hump and finally reach the NBA Finals. And nobody has more pressure on themselves than Giannis does. It's the reason he stayed in Milwaukee, to bring home a championship. But feeling the pressure, he embraces it.
I believe that pressure is earned. You know, if I wasn't who I am today and I didn't work as hard as I work and I didn't focus in the game and didn't love the game and didn't compete the way I am, we wouldn't be talking about pressure. You know, so pressure is earned and I love it. You know, I'm out there, I want to compete and I want more pressure because the better I get, the more pressure I have.
Winning is kind of what Whitewater baseball does. Tomorrow, their journey for a 3rd straight conference tournament title begins. And after going 34-5 in the regular season, the Warhawks aren't feeling any pressure because that's just what Hawk ball is all about. There's a simple standard at Whitewater.
You could go to a program that's not expected to win and hence has no pressure. Or you can play for a proven champion that has big expectations.
Just win.
You're kind of the headhunters. Everybody's coming at you. You're going to get everybody's best all the time.
And with another regular season conference crown to their name.
We don't take it too seriously, but we take it seriously. We have a loose energy, and I think that's what championship ball teams have.
They're living up to those expectations. But to the Warhawks, that's just Hawk ball.
We started asking classes as they were leaving, there has to be more to this than just winning games. You know, so what is it about our place that makes it maybe a little more special?
And the answers?
Things like work ethic and commitment and playing hard and being mentally tough. Those are all parts of it.
It's all about winning. It's about doing things the right way, taking care of the little things on and off the field.
Help start the culture.
It's from the top down here. It's not just the coaches that are doing that. It's like all the guys are expecting the most out of everyone. So it's definitely just instilled in the program.
From there, it keeps trickling down, and it's a really cool culture here at Whitewater.
And it's one that just keeps on winning. High school girls soccer, Sugar River hosting Heights Barneveld in a Capital Conference matchup. And the Raiders had themselves a nice little first half, already up 1-0. Callie Smith boots one through the keeper's hands to make it a 2-goal game. And they were far from done. Jenna Gentili sends another blast up and in as Sugar River shuts out Heights Barneveld 6-0, the final. We're back after this.
For many of us, Memorial Day marks the official start of summer. So at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we're here to help you celebrate with great deals on summer essentials during our Memorial Day sale. Like men's Lee Extreme Motion Shorts, just $24.99. Lee's 50-foot extension cords, $39.99. And this Milwaukee Power Supply and Battery, just $149. Plus, to show our gratitude, we're giving all veterans and active military members 10% off their entire purchase.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
My dog wants a yard.
Love it.
And another dog.
Have you looked at houses yet?
Not yet.
But that's good. I learned from Summit that it's better to start with a pre-approval anyway.
Right. Yeah. You can decide how much you're comfortable paying each month and then back into your price range.
Oh, and start putting the difference between your rent and your future mortgage into savings.
With Summit Credit Union, you might be more ready than you think.
I think it's great. Summit helps people build confidence and knowledge to move forward. It's your money. Own it. Summit Credit Union.
They say you should wait 30 minutes to swim after you eat. Nobody said anything about slurping Arby's $1 floats. Seems like a great opportunity to slurp and splash. Arby's, we have the meat.
Summer starts here at East Madison Toyota. We've just received 9 truckloads of inventory. That's 9 truckloads of cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, while the other guys are running dry. East Madison Toyota is stocking up with 9 truckloads of inventory. All priced to sell during the Summer Starts Here event at East Madison Toyota off I-90 and 151.
Hello,
I'm Gary Canulti, inviting News 3 Now viewers to join me on an adventure to America's Northwest National Parks, August 9th through the 18th. Enjoy the natural wonders in beautiful Glacier, Yellowstone, and Grand Teton National Parks. Highlights include a boat tour through the gates of the mountains and a Bar T5 covered wagon cookout. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, for information on how you can attend a virtual travel show or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
At Pick and Save, you can get personalized coupons on top of weekly sales for prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Whether you have a design emergency or you just want to shop the best furniture showroom in town, you need Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
First Warn Weather, certified most accurate forecast. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally tonight, after more than 10 years of crowdfunding and testing, a new project starting to become a reality in New York City. Designers of Plus Pool want to build a 285,000-gallon public pool on a floating island in the East River. They've been given the green light on this project by city officials, shaped like a plus sign, to have separate areas for children, sports, swimming laps, and lounging. But the project, which is estimated to cost more than $20 million, still needs additional funding.
How much do they need? Like everything but $1?
In New York. In New York, anything, even in the river, it's expensive real estate.
That would actually be cool, though.
It would be. It would be kind of cool. Yeah, I kind of like it.
We're getting some pool weather coming our way this weekend.
We really are. Dodging some of the showers, but I think it's going to be quite an outdoor forecast, especially on Saturdays. We only have a slight chance on Saturday. So tomorrow, a chance for showers and isolated thunderstorms Friday. Most of the area should stay dry for most of the day, similar to what we've seen for the last few afternoons, but we could have a quick shower pop up for us and then fizzle out. Same goes for Saturday with just a slight chance. High temperatures, though, will be in the mid to upper 80s, so very mild and muggy outside. We'll stay in the 80s for the start of the work week, and temperatures don't drop back to the 70s until we get to the second half of next week.
And thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.